Hello, everybody, and welcome to our final best of three for you today. It's been a wonderful day of BTS America's action, and it doesn't stop yet. We have Team Freedom going against Elite Wolves here in a best of three matchup in the second round. And I'm going to be bringing you the cast. Myself, KotLGuy, going to be joined remotely once again by the one and only Blaze. So here we go, Blaze. Elite Wolves are favorites, 75-25. I don't know if there's justification behind that or not. I want to know your impressions on this matchup, and do you think it's that heavy of a favoritism for Elite Wolves?
I mean, it's really hard to call. I mean, their match versus Boreal was quite convincing. They were able to 2-0 them, and they were able to do so quite effectively. They brought a couple of different strats. So I would say that Elite Wolves definitely have something in their back pocket as far as their ability to throw Sunbi off the drafting curve a little bit and start the game with a bit of an advantage. But from there, it comes down to execution. They've got some really big core players. Maybe their support staff feels a little weak right now, but as a whole, I wouldn't say it's like a 25-75. Even though Team Freedom did 2-0 Elite Wolves in their one and only meeting in the Shanghai Major Qualifier, I still feel like Elite Wolves have a lot to bring to the table, and if Smash is having a good day and a good game, then I think this, while not being an even matchup, is only skewed like 40-60.
Surely this must be... I'm predicting a Venge Batrider to come out here. I'm really surprised to see Elite Wolves not ban. There's the Venge. No Batrider, though. It's going to be Mirana. I'm really surprised to see Elite Wolves ban out the Oracle over Mike's Enchantress. This has been a favorite pick of his. He's been playing it a lot in pubs, in tournament play. It felt like it'd be the no-brainer ban because a lot of people do like to target Mike. You know, he doesn't have the deepest hero pool ever, and typically when he gets on these trends of one hero, he seems to really be able to play the hero at a top-notch level. I remember back at Starlighter 10, it was Batrider, and he actually warranted the respect ban from all the teams in the tournament, or any team he came across. And I think that should be treated like this Enchantress now, but they're going to let him have it. So maybe they could still prepare by, blocking out the Enchantress camp and making sure he doesn't get the easy creep there and just, start right from the beginning. But if they don't, Mike could end up being a bit of trouble. I do like that they have the Mirana. Maybe they were watching closely the last series with Archon a bit, but nonetheless, Mirana is going to be able to delete that Enchantress creep on site if necessary.
Yeah, really effective in that regard, if nothing else. And of course, the long arrow gives you more chances for you to actually get auto attacks off or just get some more spells out there. So I think it could be pretty strong, and I like the hero pick in general. I think Elite Wolves was one of the teams that I got to see a Mirana Night Stalker combo where they were actually dominating the lanes with the Boots first Night Stalker, a Void into an arrow setup, and it actually worked out really well in terms of just controlling the map early. That was a couple months back, though. As far as this patch, right now, I wouldn't say that either of these heroes are extreme answers to the Enchantress. I'm sure that, however, that they've looked at the tape. They've gone back to the replays, seen what makes Mike's Enchantress strong, and they've got a game plan of how to marginalize it, to how to try to counteract it. So, in the meantime, Team Freedom are pretty happy with their opener, I would say. Enchantress and Witch Doctor open a lot for them as far as their ability to just control and dominate the map early, push early, as well as win out 2 lanes at least. And then also the Witch Doctor would have been a good pick against them if the Mirana turns out to be a core. So it's a bit of a... the fact is they don't have to waste a ban on the Witch Doctor, and in fact they get a pretty good here in their arsenal as well. So I love these picks coming out from Freedom. I'm not yet sold on Elite Wolves. They are all about positioning control, manipulating that, and punishing mispositioning, in particular with the arrow. So it all comes down to how they execute.
I really felt like they could have waited on the Mirana pick and definitely committed for the Batrider in that first phase if they actually really wanted it. Maybe they didn't. Maybe it's a wasted ban from Freedom, but that's what at least I was suspecting, and they're not going to have that opportunity now. Just to kind of go back a page, talking about why Elite Wolves, why are they so highly touted and favorite in this matchup, I guess they are coming off a big win here. Not just the series right before this. They actually were just playing against Complexity in the Canada Cup Season 6, and they got a win. A quick 2-0 stomp, actually. Game number 1 took 23 minutes. Game number 2, 26 minutes. So Elite Wolves are coming off a bit of a hot streak right here. Actually, quite a serious hot streak. I'm looking over their full Dota buff plays, and they are on those 2 wins. They got 3 wins here against Dream Destroyers, and then they got another 2 wins in We Play against Leviathan and Enemy GG. They have been taking names across all of the NA teams right now. Leviathan here, Boreal here. This is at least a 10-game win streak right here in itself. these guys are on a serious tear right now, and I know most people already consider them the best
10
South American
seconds
team,
remaining.
obviously in the area, but I don't know. This
5
team's
seconds
starting to show
remaining.
that they want to be able to be in top contention, along with your Archons, and along with like your complexities and stuff.
Reserve
And
time.
this streak is certainly showing it. So I'm excited to see what they've been made of here, and what they can do with this Mirana. It'll be fun.
Yeah, absolutely. It's actually a 15-win streak right now,
Holy
and that's
moly.
going up to a loss versus Boreal that was still part of a victorious series, 2-1 against Boreal. Yeah, and so overall, I gotta say that that alone is very impressive. They've been taking games against a lot of the bigger, more difficult teams, but I don't know. I've seen Freedom play just in their last round, and I feel like the games that I
Radiant
saw from
team
Freedom
pick.
in round one were quite a bit more convincing than the ones involving the Elite Wolves. I feel like the Elite Wolves, I mean, the Boreal wasn't that tough of an opponent in my mind, and it's still one of the wins was very fast. I mean, it was an 18-minute win with a nearly full push lineup. But overall, I would say that the entire match wasn't that convincing to me, and I actually felt like Freedom showed more potential just based off of
10
those
seconds
series. So, like I said, I thought it would actually be skewed the other way. I thought the bets would be
5
40,
seconds remaining.
60 against Elite Wolves, but I guess
Dire
a lot of
team
people have a
pick.
lot of faith on them, and we'll see if they can back that up. We're going to be seeing Mystico here pick up the Earthshaker alongside the Mirana Venge. A lot of consideration in this second phase, though. You see the reserve times have been tapped into quite a bit as they take out the Death Prophet and the Invoker to try to just figure out what Francis is going to be looking to play mid.
Yeah, and not going for something like the Faceless Void, which was
10
still out there, is a
seconds
bit
remaining.
peculiar. But instead opting for that Shaker, maybe they're looking to secure a
5
strong high
seconds
ground
remaining.
defense, a good stall tactic a bit. Maybe they're looking to put Van into a position where he's going to be a
Reserve time.
super like late game kind of a core. Maybe just something as simple as a Morphling. I know he used to play Morphling a lot. Maybe his notorious big grab, of course, has been the Slark. If he likes to be very proactive, we could see that pop up in this game, or not this game, maybe even this series. But with this bit of information, which is not really a lot, Elite Wolves not really kind of leaking a whole lot. Freedom are going to opt to pick up the
Radiant
Abaddon here,
team
which is
pick.
obviously the quick to go to counter against your Mirana. Also helps remove the stun potential of the Fissure. What do you think about the Abaddon coming out here now for Team Freedom? It's not going to be paired side by side with the Spirit Breaker like we saw in the last game, which was a bit questionable. But this time, do you think it's a better home for him?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, the Witch Doctor is going to be able to pretty much do everything that you want out
10
of the
seconds
laning support,
remaining.
the one that is looking to just kind of zone out, presumably the
5
Earthshaker here,
seconds
and just
remaining.
put some hits in, get some free damage out. They are looking to push early. That was clear to
Reserve
Elite
time.
Wolves when they banned out the Death Prophet and when they picked up the Earthshaker. They know that they need to be more on the defensive. They need to be ready for some heavier sieges because Witch Doctor's Voodoo Restoration, Enchantress's creeps, now the
Dire team
Abaddon,
pick.
like all of this points to early emphasis from Team Freedom, and they're going to be looking to snowball this game. So Abaddon fits into that very well. Put an Aphotic Shield on whoever you consider your anchor. Maybe a Viper here would be really good because even if she tanks an arrow, she's not that predisposed. Like if the Vengeful Spirit swaps her into the entire
Yeah.
team, as long as you're within arm's reach of the Abaddon, it's still going to be an okay situation for you. So I honestly think that a hero like Viper,
10
somebody that tanks up
seconds
really early on,
remaining.
would be really strong in this position and would allow them to just
5
fulfill the strategy I
seconds
was mentioning.
remaining.
Yeah, it looks to me that might be one of the best options left for mid lane potential that's going to be able to,
Reserve time.
avoid heavy harassment from any sort of lingering and roaming arrow. And, without the benefit of getting like an Evoker with like Forge Spirits maybe or something. A Beastmaster mid would have been great, but that was first banned from Freedom. And we'll have to see what they decide to opt for instead to kind of be potentially under a bit of pressure from this Mirana. But in the meantime, we'll have to see. Plus, of
10
course, the
seconds
Viper fits the
remaining.
profile, being able to pick up a quick mech, and if they want to 5-man and keep pushing, then they can certainly do so. But look at this. Bounty Hunter comes
Radiant
out.
team
Where
battle.
Okay.
where are they going with this? Abaddon and Bounty Hunter? I'm having trouble identifying what they're going to be doing this game here, Blaze. Is
No,
that an
I
off
mean-
lane? No, it can't be. We have Enchantress here.
I mean, it's
Hmm.
well. I mean, it's pretty much what we're looking
10
at here. Is we're
seconds
taking Witch
remaining.
Doctor, Abaddon, and Bounty Hunter, and you say pick one to be a core because that's the bottom line.
5
One of them has to be.
seconds
So
remaining.
I would say in this case, the Abaddon could actually get a lot of value out of early farm. Maybe goes for like I don't know, an Axe Rush seems
Dire
weird, but it is
team
definitely an
back.
item. Honestly, if you want to get like a 4,200 gold boost on any hero, it would actually be the Witch Doctor that gets the most value out of an Aghanim Scepter. But I don't know. One of these heroes definitely obviously going to be getting the core aspect flowing for them. The
Ten
Bounty Hunter, it
seconds
used to be an
remaining.
offlaner that we got to see a lot of, but more now with the way his
Radiant
spells have been
team
reworked,
pick.
he just feels so much more viable as a support. Kind of roaming, sticking to right behind the Mirana. If you can just keep scouting the Mirana, stay right next to her, and be like, okay, well, this is where the arrows are coming from. Even if she dusts you, her melee range arrow is not going to make any difference at all unless the Ember and the Venge are also there too. So I feel like the Bounty Hunter could just kind of trail the Mirana. The Abaddon can take a lane and feel comfortable. And then,
10
of course, like you
seconds
said, Mike
remaining.
wants to run that Enchantress off lane. So unless we're reading too hard into
Dire
that
team
seems to be
pick.
kind of what we're looking for.
Response from Elite Wolves. The last pickup is going to look like the Nature's Prophet here, set and destined for the off lane, but I'm sure he doesn't know what the hell he's going to be going up against. I mean, we're even trying to figure out exactly where they will reside. I loved, what you were falling back on there. It seems like Bounty Hunter is just going to be on the tail of this Mirana, so nothing seems to be a bit of a surprise for whoever their mid laner may be. And then Abaddon has
10
a
seconds
lane to
remaining.
work with at the top to just kind of find bits of free farm. It could be a little
5
tricky if he's
seconds
got in a
remaining.
matchup against Nature's Prophet, but this Witch Doctor could always be on standby to help him zone him back a
5
bit.
seconds
So
remaining.
what is the mid lane spot going to be coming out now? We alluded to the Viper a bit, but okay, never mind. That's a Jug. Someone's going mid that doesn't normally go mid. This should be a good one. And it looks like it's going to be... Is Mike taking Enchantress mid? Or
I mean,
the bad mid?
I
What?
feel like, yeah, it's like a bad and mid is what it currently looks like if you just take their roles at face value. But no, they actually, did they just...
Well, this is going to be something
Okay.
new.
I mean, it's either mid Juggernaut and safe lane Abaddon or flip flop that. Right now, Francis has been playing the most mid, so it's definitely possible that Francis takes Jug mid, but I don't fully understand why you would exactly. I guess because up against Ember Spirit, you're able to spin every time he flame guards, and you can kind of clear out the creeps and negate that spell entirely. And that could be a comfort place for you
10
where you have
seconds remaining.
the ability to also respond to the arrow. Like Searing Chains into arrow is actually a really
5
strong
seconds
setup against
remaining.
any hero but like Lifestealer and Juggernaut. So I guess yeah, they want to just put the Juggernaut mid, have him have the ability to respond to an arrow even if they don't see it coming, and then yeah, they'll be able to kind of build themselves up.
Prepare
This
for
should
battle.
be an interesting one here as we see now Freedom and Elite Wolves going toe-to-toe. It's game number 1 of this best of 3 into the second round of BTS Americas. Elite Wolves coming off a serious hot streak right now. 15 wins on their side, and they're looking to kind of continue that track here. For Team Freedom, ragtag group, now sponsored, I believe, ready to play. They haven't really shown much since the Shanghai qualifier, and they're looking to have a bit of a bounce back here towards this $10,000 prize pool. And it doesn't look like we're going to have any sort of early TPs, early wardage coming out. Obviously, deep trek movement coming out from Juby here, who is a bounty hunter specialist. He loves playing this hero. I don't know if he loves it, but he seems to play it a lot. But
30
nonetheless, he
seconds
is
to battle.
gonna be on the tail here of Masoku. So, and they're not blocking out the Ench camp here, Blaze. So Mike should be
Well-
able to get the easy camp, and they're guarding it. You know, that's their credit.
No, Mike's going top, dude. He's actually going to be 1v1ing the Furion, and they're going to put
Oh.
Carry Abaddon bottom.
Oh, interesting. Okay,
Yeah,
all
it's
right.
very weird.
We have a pause, so I guess we could take a moment to digest what the hell's about to happen here, Blaze. Okay, so Mike is heading top, and he'll have his own camps to work with there, and a one-on-one matchup against Nature's Prophet is going to be intriguing, but I suppose Mike's going to get the better of it. Both of them will. It's I guess technically a win-win for both of them, being able to get the solo XP and farm. But the core of Abaddon to the bottom lane here to be matched up against the Ember. Is it just Freedom? Like, do they care? Are they caring a lot about actually getting the farm, or is their job there just to kind of get up in the face of this Ember and not allow him to have a good time?
It's just making it so that it's impossible for Masoku to execute his strategy with the Mirana. It's essentially, okay, Sacred Arrow on mid, he's just going to spin it. Sacred Arrow on bottom, there's going to be an Aphotic Shield to prevent it. It's just, there's actually no real value for this Mirana pick if they lane like this. And while it might not be like the standard farm priority, you'd love to see the Juggernaut just farming the tri lane and putting pressure out, and then you'd have a more traditional mid. By removing your vulnerabilities. Although it's not optimization of the economy, what you're doing is just essentially turning this game into a 5v4 where the Mirana doesn't bring any value beyond Moonlight Shadow.
We'll have to see if somehow Masoka will be able to find something to do with her Mirana. Maybe with the right shot through the trees out of vision, the Blade Fury might not be able to react fast enough. Maybe they'll bank on that. She's got 4 freaking clarities, Blaze, so she is planning on dishing out arrows somewhere here, whether it be in the jungle to find her own bit of farm to kind of get the quick level 2 and some leap, or some sort of setup. We'll have to see where it's going to be able to come into play here. And as you see, in a pause waiting, Jubei disconnected, didn't really say anything. He's just gone, and everyone started to go into a serious emoticon frenzy here. But apparently his net is out at the moment, so hopefully it's not going to be too long. We didn't get to say too much of it at the start, so I want to go back to the bracket just briefly here, Blaze, so we can see the journey these teams have already gone through to make it to where they are now. Team Freedom in the opening round were able to best Leviathan real fast to secure their spot, and Elite Wolves got the better end of Boreal Esports to make it into the second round now. So quite a journey ahead of us, and then more to come as we see Digital Chaos are going to be facing off against I think it's wrong on here. On here it says Barlogs, but I believe it's Balrogs. So
yeah,
we'll have to get that fixed. Barlogs came off a pretty nice upset, taking down Shazam, who were probably favored in that matchup. And then the final second round matchup is Power of Friendship, which is of course like what was MSS's team, I believe, right? It was Ush, but Ush is no longer on this team, so they're going to be going up against Infamous later on a future date. Might actually be tomorrow, but all right, back in we go, and we'll continue to wait it out a bit. So anything else to get from this? I mean, we know that the intention here from Freedom and mixing up these lanes is to kind of neuter the Mirana a bit here, Blaze, but if they kind of can see the situation develop before them, what kind of appropriate adjustments should they make, or can they make to kind of, not allow it just to be an easy Freedom laning phase?
It's going to be pretty difficult because right now I already feel like they've won 2 lanes guaranteed, and the bottom lane's a bit of a mix-up. It depends on how they move, how they use their spells. A top lane, like the Enchantress, and once she has 2 points in Untouchable, the Trance can never hit her, the Figurine can never hit her, and you have to remember this guy doesn't do spell damage. He only does real damage really directly through auto attacks, and that's something the Enchantress won't be susceptible to, and she'll always be able to trade with, even though she's 50 range less. So we're going to see Mike starting around level 3 to start dominating that lane and really putting pressure out on the Furion. And I would say more so that maybe you just like solo the Furion bottom and you try to go like the Venge Mirana play up top. The reason I say 2 lanes are guaranteed is because this Juggernaut, I'm pretty convinced, is going to be able to win out against the Ember Spirit. They both have poor man shields, but the thing is, if you always just use your spin, whenever the Ember Spirit goes in for his Flame Guard, then he can't go on the creep wave. Juggernaut will clear it out. And when it just comes down to trading auto attacks, Juggernaut's automatically better. He has 60 damage, and he's got the ability to just trade because he has 4 armor compared to Ember's 2. And it really makes it difficult. The only exception to this would be if there was a bad spin too far in the river, and Francis then gets caught in by the Searing Chain's arrow around level 3. But that's the only situation in which I would feel that Freedom would be a disadvantage in mid, and that's only if like the creep wave favors it. Because how do you get a Searing Chain when there's 4 creeps still alive for the dire side? It's going to be really coming down to diving past, and I don't know. It's in this position, I feel like Freedom already have very strong lanes that won't die easy, and that's going to make E.Wolves' overall game plan quite weak. Later on in the game, of course, they can talk about the Furion going for a more ratty build. Necronomicon could be pretty good this game, I think. But other than that, you're really looking for some big plays from the supports if anything's going to change.
Yeah, and I mean, if anyone's to do it, it's a Smash special, the mid lane Ember Spirit. We'll see if he can kind of pull it out in this one. It seems like his role in this team does continue to kind of vary a bit. I know I've seen Smash also play a lot of off lane recently, off lane brew, but it seems like when they kind of have the appropriate hero selection, they'll kind of make the adjustments necessary. But that's pretty common now among some of the better teams, so I'm not really surprised to see that. But outside of that, as we continue to wait out a little bit longer here, as Jubei is just missing in action, I'm sure that they're ticking on the clock right now, and I'd hate to have this game resume into a 4v5 situation here, so hopefully it's not going to be taking too much longer. just seeing like what they're going to be able to bank on top of being able to get their big advantage from freedom. Let's say they'd be able to stop Masoko from getting a lot done. Mike gets what he needs out of the new solo safe lane for himself. He'll be able to have lots of significant farm. And, well, when do you... The thing with the mid lane Jug is, like, he gets to a point, he gets his level 6, let's say. Does he start stepping away from the mid lane and going more into a fighting build-up here? Or do you continue to be greedy, go Battle Fury, and build up on top of that? I mean, eventually you hand over the lane maybe to a support to kind of catch up in the XP department a bit, but where does the transition begin with the Jug, and is it going to be safe for him to move away from the mid lane and allow someone else to take it over at some point?
That's a pretty good question, because obviously Juggernaut has the ability to sustain his own jungle. He's able to get a lot of value out of going off the map a little bit, maybe roaming to make a move with his Omni Slash. But for the most part, I could say for the first 8 levels, Juggernaut's still just sticking to his lane and just doing his own thing unless confrontation is forced. And the one thing is whether or not he goes Battle Fury is my question. And the reason I would say no is because the Venge carry is going to bring enough tempo that early on, if they do get a couple of kills here and there, that Freedom are going to need the Jug to get involved. That's not necessarily the case. It's just my read based on Vengeful Spirit being just a really early tempo core. And Freedom, their supports are pretty good early, and the Bounty Hunter will contribute a lot when he gets 6, but I don't know. I feel like you can just rely on the track gold instead of the Battle Fury farm to kind of build yourself up, and then maybe you get Battle Fury as a second item. Like you go S and Y, and then you go back for the Battle Fury so that you don't have to worry about the Nature's Prophet Rat. It's kind of an interesting mix of the two, but I feel like just going straight phase Battle Fury, unless you have a really good start, could cause some problems. And hell, even going treads when you have a bottle, which you do when you go mid Juggernaut, is probably going to be more efficient. So yeah, I would say treads, bottle, and then S and Y Battle Fury, but it obviously comes down to the tempo of the game, how big the Furion is getting, how big the Vengeful Spirit is getting.
Yeah, if the Furion is able to get a lot, which it seems like he'll be able to get a bit out of the lane, could decide to be a bit more globally present and make some fights happen, but it kind of alludes to the same problem that Mirana is, where there's just really no easy target to go for. Maybe if he participates in some sort of bottom lane ambush and gets the jump and pump fakes out a shield from a bat and then changes course for a different target, it's something, but that's like if that all happens to work out in their favor. So it is mostly pressure on E.Wolves to find these thin opportunities, because otherwise Freedom have just kind of plotted out a storyboard of a laning phase that doesn't really have a whole lot of faults to it, as long as things just kind of go according to plan. But we are taking.
Well, I'm thinking about a couple of options. If Mystico actually uses a Fisher block on mid, if he's able to smoke in around and then Fisher blocks mid after the Juggernaut uses a spin, then you can TP the Nature's Prophet to guarantee it, and you can pretty much get a guaranteed kill. So I feel like the mid matchup isn't going to be as cut and dry as I maybe alluded it to be, because there's going to be a lot more opportunities to counterplay that when the Nature's Prophet gets some levels, and just in general for this Earthshaker, because Fisher Block is still a really good utility that they can bring to this. I kind of went into this draft thinking in my mind that, okay, well, we'll go ahead and get a core Earthshaker in the off lane, and that'll create that value later, but he won't do much in the laning stage. And then they ended up picking the Nature's Prophet last. So with that in mind, it changes up when the Earthshaker gets involved, and the Fisher Block still brings a lot to the table, where that's something like actually physically blocking your opponent from retreating is something Abaddon can never shield off. It's definitely going to be kind of changing the movement and the structure of the lanes.
So we are waiting on the last few moments here, unfortunately for Jubei, even though Mike is saying he's back on Steam. The fact of the matter is he's not in the game, and within a moment or so, I feel like they are going to have the option to unpause. It shouldn't be on the players to make any sort of option or choices or whatever. It's the game resumes, because they are out of time, unfortunately. I don't know how long, 10 minutes, but Mike says he's joining, so hopefully he's joining, and it's not going to be a 10-minute process to join. So looks like E.Wolves will have some mercy, and we should hopefully have a Dota game soon. I don't want to over theory craft what the hell is actually happening at the start of this game here, but
you don't want to. It's my dream. I can do this for days.
I know what typically ends up happening is it's NA Dota here, Blaze. You're going to analyze the hell out of it. Next thing you know, there's a first bloodbath happening at the room, which just absolutely lopsides the advantage for one team or the other.
Absolutely.
And just as fast as Jubei enters, he disconnects. So, well, the dream was real for a moment. He's gone. Just as fast.
I am curious about this Nature's Prophet contribution, though. I feel like his ability to teleport is something that they can really exploit, and the fact is, if they can go in to matchups that are 4v3 and Freedom aren't able to disengage because of the Fisher that I talked about, then I feel like E.Wolves should be able to actually get a few extra kills. Of course, that will give a free lane to Mike for 30 seconds at a time, but it's still going to be pretty strong rotation power from Van, and he's already got a lot of right-click damage. Nulltail has been double Fairy Fire. This is definitely where you want to start, and I feel with that in mind that, yeah, if they get a good Fisher block, they follow it up with the Fury, and that bottom lane, while I thought that it was going to be like 50-50 Wish Wash, I actually feel much more confident about E.Wolves' ability to make things happen down there now.
Let's see here. I'm doing my own little investigation. That's private. I can't even see if he's online, unfortunately, here. But, oh, he's back now. I get back in the game and I see he's back online, so hopefully he's good to go. He's joining. We are not okay with that. We prefer to unpause or wait 2 more minutes. All right, well, fair enough. I really don't want to round out our wonderful day of Dota today, Blaze, with a 4v5 kind of a series or anything like that, or a last-minute stand-in. But, you know, so is the luxury of going back into online tournament play after stepping off from all the LAN action. Fortunately, these things do happen. But some be the nice man, letting him know that he does appreciate the patience. I know you were going into a bit, of course, about the Nature's Prophet and what he's going to be able to contribute to the game here. It's Fan, after all. I mean, I don't know how to, like, I don't want to be reading in too much into the guy. I don't even know him personally at all, but just by his tendencies and past play, he does seem more like an aggressive kind of a style.
Oh, yeah.
I would
I've
definitely
played against him a bunch. He's cutthroat as hell.
He's
like,
very cutthroat.
I talk about the possibility of Rat and that might force like a Battle Fury, but when it comes down to it, this guy just wants to kill people. Like, yeah, that's why his name used to be Slarky. He used to just pick Slark every game. This guy just loves to kind of build himself up. He'll always make time for himself early, but when it comes down to it, he looks for the kills, and I'm sure that he's going to get involved. But interestingly enough, we're going to see a bottom rune contest with the arrow attempted, but spin bounty acquired, and that's actually going to be Ember and Jug to still pick it up with, of course, the cost of the early Blade Fury, very expensive.
Yeah, I know. I was going to check him out right now. He doesn't have any sort of mana regen. He's not looking to go back, so he'll have one more Blade Fury spin, but then at that point, he will not be able to have any sort of follow-up here. So we'll see what Elite Wolves kind of do with that bit of information and how they kind of apply it there. And now we're going to see where Jubei looks to take his business here. And it looks like it's going to go back towards the mid lane. And one thing I am not seeing here is any sort of mid-sentry ward here for Smash. So without that kind of insight here, he could be kind of up in arms a bit with this Orb of Venom bounty hunter. And already you can see he's waiting for this first strike. And if he eats too much harassment here, he's going to be...
Mike is just dying. Like, he actually didn't skill Untouchable, and now he's right-click down to 100 HP. He has to actually pop Nature's Attendance at a Tango to get himself back up. That's just a Fisher and right-clicks. But mid also going to be some action as we do see Jubei getting involved.
Yeah, that's interesting. So did he opt to quickly level up the heal once he was starting to get attacked? Normally...
Well, no, he got attacked like 6 times, and then he's like, okay, now it's time to heal back up. But now he doesn't have Untouchable for level 1, which is, like I said, the most important passive against the Nature's Prophet.
Well, this is a good boost here for Van in the first couple of waves to kind of be able to force Mike back like this and take advantage while he doesn't have that level. He'll get it here soon as the creeps eventually move on to the tower, and he grabs the Untouchable right now. But he's chewed through a fair amount of his regen here, so we'll see if the Nature's Prophet's going to be able to kind of force him to go through the rest of it and be at a bit of a disadvantage here. Back at mid lane, Smash continues to get poked quite a bit in this bit of 2v1. Sentry will be committed, but there's no ward to take down. Oh, wait, it looks like he actually did manage to grab it, so just barely up and above.
Yep, but now he can just sit here. I mean, Smash can't come to the lane at all in this position, not until the Bounty Hunter shows himself bottom or something, so especially now that Janata's skilled up. Ember Spirit actually can't lane. I almost feel more comfortable with the Ember Spirit going top. Like, in this position, the Jubei is just going to ride him. He does see the healing salve popped. He's not going to be able to cancel it, though. And still, though, anytime Smash comes off the tower, that's when he's pretty much just going to lose half his life, at least. And actually, they could even go here.
Let's see if they do. Mango committed now. A lot of tower pressure. The chains are going to be there. Can they get Jubei down first? They can't. They're going to be able to get the first blood. And it's going to be picked up from Francis right now. So he gets the takedown onto Smash. And Freedom get themselves on the board nice and early.
Radiant's
Checking out their
middle
bottom
tower is
lane
under
on maybe
attack.
where they're going to be at a bit of a disadvantage because the Bounty Hunter is roaming. It still looks pretty solid. Look at that Sunbee at the top of the CS charts on his Abaddon right now, 10-2.
That's the most impressive part, honestly. Like,
Yeah.
I knew that Mike would do well top. I didn't think he'd force Furion out of lane 2 minutes in and force him to TP back home to heal, but all the same, like, the fact that Fun and Sunbee are just uncontested down here is pretty insane. I mean, yeah, the Venge is still keeping up a little bit with 10-1 on Ewo, but the Abaddon actually getting something out of this lane is really impressive.
We'll have to see what kind of adjustments could be made from Elite Wolves, and it's not Mirana roaming about right now. She's already accepted the fact that she is going to be forced to reside in this bottom lane and by the side of this Vengeful Spirit for now. So it's finding some just side farm by shooting arrows down the camps and at least making some use out of these clarities. Otherwise, you pretty much bought them for nothing. So Masuku is going to be finding a little bit of something there, but no easy opportunity going to be present. Even, you know, a move like this onto Sunbee, no arrow going to be there to follow up, and they don't know exactly where Fun is now. Fun's actually in rotation towards the top lane, it would appear. Maybe adding some assistance to Mike, but back at mid, Smash in trouble once more. Not a strike, all that slow, and a full Blade Fury, and he is crippled and back now, and he's going to be forced to chew through his bottle right away.
Mike finds himself a Hellbear, which, as long as he keeps on enchanting this thing, is going to just devastate Van at lane. Anytime the Hellbear comes up, Van has to back off. It's just going to be really frustrating. The Hellbear, obviously, is just clearing out the whole
Dire's bottom tower
slew
is under
of
attack.
creeps up top here, but
Radiant's
Mirana's
top
actually
tower is under
going to be
attack.
ganked up by the Bounty Hunter here. Might be in some trouble.
Dire's
This could be a
middle
response,
tower
and
is under
it
attack.
just takes a one hit and one shuriken toss to get the kill. This comes after they were able to make a committed dive and take down Sunbee, so Elite Wolves aren't going to be going away empty-handed, but there is a response there for Jubei, and this means this Bounty Hunter is quickly, you know, halfway through level 4. Track's going to be coming online that much sooner, and you pair that together with something like an Omni Slash, which will be online, then Track Gold could start funneling in fast for Team Freedom.
Yeah, so it looks like they're going to just have Sunbee solo bottom now. He has turned back into an off-lane Abaddon, and then essentially a carry Enchantress from there. And so that kind of role reversal is just going to be putting Sunbee on edge a little bit more. If there's a Magic Missile arrow, there's nothing to save him until he gets his ultimate. But, of course, they have more kill potential up top with the contribution of the Witch Doctor.
No farming up. Van tries to come and acknowledge him a bit, but Mike lets him know that they're there. And Elite Wolves wanted to be doing something about it. Back at mid, they're making their move again for Smash. This time they'll get the crit at the end with the DD. Oh, man, off with his head. Smash goes down. Twice now he'll be dropped in the mid lane. This Bounty Hunter is such a big problem, and they don't have the sentry or the vision to do anything about it.
Yeah, I mean, it is worth noting that Blade Dance is the most reliable critical passive in the game, so 20% isn't the most absurd thing I've seen, but just getting it first hit, 300 damage, just like that, on, of course, a hero that just can't sustain against physical damage. That's very fortunate for them, and maybe stopping him from getting level 6.
Yeah, very nice. There's the fissure. There's the follow-up back at mid lane. Smash goes in and goes down again. Oh, simultaneous action breaking across the board now. They get their catch onto the Fun Witch Doctor in the top lane, but losing Smash again in the mid. Oh,
Dire's top
Ember.
tower is under
We know
attack.
him to be one that struggles if he has a slow start. Well, this is pretty slow already. He better find the road to recovery, and Miniski gets a quick snipe with the Omni Slash, taking down the Earthshaker.
Very nicely done there, right before the Invis Fade time kicked in. That's absolutely huge. Just Omni Slash gets the hit on top, and down he goes. So that's actually a massive advantage right now for Francis. He's going to be at 4-0, hitting level 7 very early on. Smash should get level 6 finally, and now he should be safe from the Juggernaut, but that doesn't mean that he's going to be able to really stay in direct contest of the lane unless Masoku lands the arrow. He's actually maxing arrow. If we look back at Whitebeard's build in the previous game, there was no arrow max. It was actually like a 4-1-1 build up, but Masoku's all in on this arrow, and of course this Observer Ward means it's going to be impossible to land.
It's good to have that big, hard-hitting arrow, but if you're not landing it on the enemy team here, then you feel like you're putting all the invested points for not a whole lot to gain for it. So, well, Masoku will take his business elsewhere, it would appear, and this Mirana continues to try to find some sort of rhythm for himself. Let's find out where Jubei is. Jubei's getting close to 6. He's halfway there now. It looks like he'll take his business probably upwards towards the top lane as he inches closer to those precious arcanes, I would imagine. And for Van, who we were seeing where his position was going to be towards this part of the game, how proactive he was going to be, if he was going to be making his appearance elsewhere. It looks like he's going to go towards the bottom lane. There it is, a jump for Sunbeam. There's going to be the Sprout. They got the arrow. They pop the shield, but he's got the borrowed time now because of that solo lane experience. And they turn it right back on to Elite Wolves. They're going to get the first kill, taking down the Earthshaker, following up, get the grab. Masoku going to be the following kill, and they want more. Ewo trying to get out and away from trouble. And here comes Francis. He is on a hot chase right now. No Omni Slash, but here comes the Blade Fury, and there's the kill. All the meanwhile, Sunbeam gets the other grab. He's going to be finishing off Van, Nature's Prophet. 4 go down all day on the side of Elite Wolves. Freedom lose nobody.
Radiant's bottom
It was just a really smart draft coming up from Sunbeam, making sure that every lane was fortified, there were no weak points, and now look at the supports. They're doing nothing. The Earthshaker, level 2, the Mirana, level 5, but with arrows that are not connecting, she's contributing as much as a level 2 hero. So we just see here, with 1 borrowed time, they're able to turn the engagement, and we see that many more kills onto the Juggernaut. He's 5-0 and 2 now, diving towers left and right, and gonna go on Ewo again with the Omni Slash. Doesn't bounce for the range creep, and that's another kill.
Yes, it is. Blade Fury helps secure that one, and the potential just doesn't stop here for Freedom. Beautifully set up lanes. They use their advantage, and they're not looking to let up one bit. And we got to see what the fallback. What is the fallback plan going to be? I mean, Ember Spirit is supposed to be your late game, somewhat comeback insurance policy, but he has had a hell of a start. 0 and 3 right now, and just trying to get at least a tier 1 tower of credit. Arrow not going to catch. He comes in with a wild Blade Fury here, and he's already shielded up, and that's going to force a retreat from Smash. The tracks are coming out now. Freedom's advantage can only grow that much more. Now they have Trackle to work with. This is going to be very hard. Elite Wolves can't be handing away any sort of freebies.
And the deny on the tier 1 tower, of course, gives the only thing the Elite Wolves had going for them was a little bit more structural damage, and that's completely eradicated with 1 swift strike from the Juggernaut. Now, 3 heroes top the net worth for Freedom, and that's before they take the tower bottom. So they're pressuring multiple towers, they're getting kills all over the place. Like you mentioned, the track is going to help their economy quite a bit as well, and it just doesn't feel like E.Wolves can execute their strategy. They can't find pickoffs like they want to. The arrows or the Fishers and the Nature's Prophet TPs. Now we're going to see, actually, Mike. Oh, the creep eats it. Oh, gosh. Mike is even unassailable on the top lane. Abaddon, as long as he has the TP on bottom, he's happy to push as far as he wants as well. It's just, in this position, there's no way for Elite Wolves to find kill opportunities, and there's so many for Freedom as they continue to push forward. Like you said, they're going to have to go back to the drawing board, fall back on Smash's late game, which they're in no position to reach anytime soon.
Yeah, but you don't want to be just kind of waiting around for your ultimate demise, so Elite Wolves better just quickly put some sort of game plan together now. Mirana maybe getting her level 6 and utilizing something with the Moonlight Shadow. Ewo, you know, maybe a good setup with the swap, but it's still only level 1 and such minimal range to work with. They're banking on her to be able to contribute all the extra damage that is going to be missing now from Smash, and she still got some work cut out for her. Here comes Freedom, though, continuing forward. They're going to get the tier 1, it looks like, here at the top after this glyph. And with it comes all the extra money now. Drums in order. Phase boots. This jug's got already 1k gold above it. You might not even need to kind of double back for anything like a you know.
And another kill.
Yep, moves in. Omni Slash. M-God stuck in the trees here. Yeah, he found a little corner to hide in, but once this fissure does disappear, oh, he's fine. Quick TP out. Jug avoids any sort of trouble, and he'll make it away. All right, well, almost got a kill.
Fortunate for the Earthshaker there. The fog and just getting inside the tree line and getting the Fisher off was quite effective, but nevertheless, Freedom just keep on doing their thing across the map. It's going to be... I honestly, like, at this point in the game, if I'm in E.Wolves' position, all I do is just back-to-back smoke with 3 heroes. Just put the Earthshaker, Venge, the Mirana into full gank mode, have the Nature's Prophet TP in, and just go smoke, smoke, smoke 3 times in a row. I'm not even kidding. Like, you just have to kind of chain that up, because if you can't build a ton of momentum now, there's no way for the Ember Spirit to get space.
We'll see if they do anything about it right now as they continue to find something. Top lane seems to be the idea. They were tracked up, so Freedom kind of anticipate that pressure's coming towards the top. We'll see what they make across the map. It looks like a move onto the Roche. Not even needing to utilize the Enchantress is untouchable for this one. They just kind of have the DD, and looks like the leeching damage with the help of that Vlad's, it's really all they need.
Curse of Avernus is really good here too. Like Healing Ward, Curse of Avernus, and you just go to town.
All at the exchange for a tier 1 top, which is a common trade we see, but very nice for Freedom now. And they're going to be giving Mike the Aegis here on the Enchantress. No Jug, no bad second life, but more for the Enchantress.
Yeah, I mean, if there's any risk of her going down, getting nuked down, then you want her to be back up full mana, full HP. I mean, with the Dragon Lance and about to be level 11, just getting the full mana bar, even when the Aegis I honestly don't think this Aegis is going to go down unless Mike just completely YOLOs. So I think that it's kind of just a free regenerate 5 minutes from now.
You know, I haven't been able to watch a lot of the history of these two teams compete, and I don't even know if they scrim a lot, but it's pretty obvious that Freedom came into this match giving a lot of respect to Masoku and his Mirana, and I don't know if they kind of anticipated it was going to be an early pick, but the way they kind of drafted around it and had their lane set up and really neutered her from getting anything done is just definitely paid huge dividends here. And now we're seeing Elite Wolves. Look at this, pressing into the high ground here. They're actually going to force out some early rotations here from Freedom.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
And let's see if they're going to look to take a fight here. Smash just commits on in. He's looking to get a hold. He might get some good damage on the Juve, but will eventually remnant away. That impetus better not hit, right? Oh my! Whoa! Whoa! Better be careful. My goodness.
Nuclear sprunk detected. That's brilliant. That's just so much damage. That is just it getting capped out. And of course, that just shows the Fire Remnant does not disjoint. But fun, actually, walking into 3, gonna die. This is the 3rd kill for E.Wolves. Well, in exchange for a smoke, but no, that's still a really valuable kill for the Elite Wolves.
They'll take what they can get, and they'll walk on out. So with that small bit of advantage, they move their way back towards the bottom half of the map where Freedom had been residing a little bit, and they'll be able to claim back some jungle farm for themselves. Van stepping for the Midas here to really play a bit of catch-up on his Nature's Prophet as he builds for the Agnum Scepter now. And then way at the bottom, Smash, who we know is going to be having to really put the team up on his back in the late game here if they want to get that kind of comeback potential. He has booted travel, so his mobility, his farm potential has gone up a bit, but here comes Freedom, who feel like they have the better fight. They still have the Aegis to work with. Mike has a Dragon Lance now, so he has long-range sieging capability, and those impetuses will begin to hurt, and he's tanky. So here they come knocking on the tier 2. Elite Wolves making the best though, Blaze. They're splitting out both sides. Fun commits his Death Ward here to try to kill Smash, and Smash just remnants away.
Well, Nature's Prophet will grab the courier in mid. Just a quick jump from Van there, but in the end, they're obviously not committing hard to the top lane. He was the last one you want to be solo pushing, and we'll just see instead everybody back off, try to defend. We will see Deny from Witch Doctor on bottom, and the other 4 heroes committing to mid.
As they move in, Mike is right up in by into the tier 3. Now sees Van, wants to go right for him. He's looking to make the most out of this Aegis life, zoning him back, and they're going to get the tier 3 down.
That's just power right in the kisser. That impetus actually killed the Nature's Prophet, and now we see they're having to go in hardcore in this fight, but he was already dead. This impetus is just too damn strong.
Mike's comfort pick, man. He just continues to show why he loves the hero, and look at the work go. Oh, will that one hit? No, he's got the lead.
He continues to show why Dragon Lance is such a stupid item on Enchantress. That's what he's doing. Like, this is absurd.
Well,
he has an Aghanim Scepter right now. Like, if he wants to disassemble, he has an Aghanim. Oh, he goes for the Blink Dagger instead. Why the hell not? Oh my gosh. Just the time. Honestly, this is Enchantress's peak timing. Hitting Dragonlance, Blink, and level 11. Like, there's no point in the game where Enchantress could. I mean, she does still work in the late game, but like right now, 16 minutes in, there's no hero that can deal with this. I mean, like a Lycan with a BKB rush could run at her and try to smack her, but that's about it.
Nothing like that here. Huge future. Big damage sleight of fist could help a bit, but oh, I can't tell it. She got to be careful, man. He jumps back and impetus flies in, and he almost kills himself with the way he just jumps out from trouble. Eats another one hard shot, and is going to be forced to step back and heal up. Freedom not letting up one bit though, Blaze. They're coming back to mid lane. They want to finish what they started with these Braxes now exposed.
Absolutely. I mean, of course, the damage is capped at 2,500 distance, but that's still 20% of that is 500 damage. So 500 pure damage of Smash's 1,000 health. It's not a good spot for him to be in. So yeah, he's just gonna do it. He's like, okay, well, you want to jump away with your remnant? Then go ahead. You'll still take 500 damage. And he'll just try to cut the wave. They have the creep wave they need to go in, and they're going to Omni in hardcore onto E.Wolves, even killing off the Mirana before she is able to get away.
Masoku goes down, unable to leap away from the trouble. Rax is now exposed, and they could be set to go down here. We may even see the towel eventually thrown in. A strong performance from the start coming out from Freedom, all led from the draft here, put together from Sunday. A unique laning setup that pretty much left us a bit frazzled, to be honest, but definitely seeing it come into light right now. They walk away with their one Rax advantage, and E.Wolves will continue to fight on while they can. Smash has been working with the mid lane, and he is starting to throw together the early parts of his Battle Fury, but we are also going to be seeing a lot more coming online here for Freedom. With the Rax going down, the money is certainly rolling in. The Blink Dagger's there. He has the Agnums already. Jubei has a medallion. It looks like the gem was just picked up by him. And for Francis here, SMY is already online, and he's got 1,700 gold already in reserve.
All right, we're going to see a flanking play here. He will see them with the Gem of True Sight, but how does he respond? They don't dust him, obviously. They're going to be going onto Sunbee, who has that borrow time, who has that TP, so they're going to have to put a lot in to try to bring him down.
Can they get him? Borrowed time. They're going to begin to walk him home right now. Can they block him off? Oh, they're trying to. A leap in, but eventually help to show up. It's the form of a coconut. They're quickly Delta split to avoid the trouble. And that ward is unfortunately not going to be heavily utilized at that point. So E.Wolves will be able to make it out. Not being able to get the kill on the Abaddon, though, is very unfortunate for him. And Smash, look at this, going for a re-engagement. He's going to miss on the chains and have to step back.
Ooh, solo smoke play from Mystico. Can he get the flank here? An Echo Slam would be massive onto multiple heroes, but even just the Fissure. No, he gets him on the wrong side. You need that Fissure to work, but he still doesn't have borrowed time, and he will barely get the shield off before going down. That's actually the 4th kill for E.Wolves, but here comes Francis.
Yep, he is hustling in real fast. Masoku quick to TP out. He's not looking to jump an Omni Slasher Mirana as she leaves, but he'll get this target. Oh, it's split between the two, and a nice jump back from Smash. Now he's going to go for the TP, and he makes it out. Oh, he tried to do the bank shot with the Shuriken, but even though the range is pretty ridiculous, it's not that crazy. So
yeah, it was just short. I think it was like 1,400 instead of 1,200. That was close, but all the same. I mean, they get the Abaddon, but Freedom still are in pretty clear control of the current state of the game. The one thing that has changed so far this game is Van picking up this Aghanim Scepter. Using the Wrath of Nature just now, pushing bottom pretty hard. He went mid as well, so while he didn't take any towers with it, he is constantly starting to force the lanes back. And while this will funnel some extra gold to Freedom, more so it'll just make it harder for them to actually break backdoor protection if they go for a gradual push. They kind of have to just go very forcefully down a single lane, because otherwise it'll slowly catch up with them. Mike caught, but not. Oh, look at that.
I can't quite hit her. Yeah, not happening there, Smash. So she'll make it back and away. And gotta say, you know, if this Nature's Prophet continues to kind of dish out the split pressure here, what can Freedom really do about it at this point? It looks like, you know, he's already adding in a lot towards the top lane, putting this early Agnums to use. Soon to probably get an Octarine Core, let's say. And we've already seen this once earlier today in our very first series, but we have Cask, but, you know, outside of anything, the Jug, who doesn't have Splash. Could Freedom find themselves in a bit of trouble later on, Blaze, if these lanes continue to push and trees continue to spawn out from the darkness everywhere? I mean, already the Witch Doctor's, you know, dealing with it quite a bit. Could this be a bit frustrating? And it's more on them to find that one opportunity, as you were talking about, to make that blitz play, to go just down a lane as a full 5-man?
Well, I mean, that's why I suggested after getting SNY that Juggernaut could go back for Battle Fury. We're actually going to see a good combo stun coming out onto him, and he's actually going to be killed off. The Moonlight Shadow, he used the spin early, and then they were able to pursue him and stick on, just keep his Blink on cooldown. So good manipulation there, and that is going to be a very valuable pickup. In fact, that is 776 gold to the Venge, 1,300 gold as a whole to the E.Wolves. So really nice little pickup there, but yeah, as far as the overall push factor, we're talking like Maelstrom Abaddon, and we're going to be talking about Battle Fury Jug.
Yeah, Maelstrom would be a nice grab here for Abaddon if he goes for it next. He's also a great Mjolnir target target for himself.
Dire's
So
middle tower is
we'll
under
see. But
attack.
I'm sure Freedom were anticipating they were going to be forced to kind of play into this kind of game. But it looks like they might get a catch on the Van here. Van's able to step him back with the Sprout. Shuriken's already down,
no,
so
Mike.
they have no way to stop him.
That range was so frustrating for him. He was so close to getting that last
Dire's
auto
middle
off. He was
tower
one
is
tree
under
away,
attack.
and that tree created by Van.
Well, he gets away here, and the game is not quite as easy as it once was here for Freedom, and not saying stop right now. Elite Wolves just hustle in there, popping out the dust, hoping to get the catch onto Jubei, but Jubei is already out the other side. Smash shows himself, looks to go for the swipe here onto Mike. Mike is using the work of the Untouchable here to keep him well, but Smash is not letting up yet. Now moves in. The second he sees Francis, he gets the hell out of there and makes his retreat back towards the mid lane.
Alrighty, so we actually only have a 5,000 net worth advantage now for Freedom, 5,000 experience as well. The map control is generally in their favor because the lack of tier 2 and mid for E.Wolves, but the thing is, the creep waves are still doing a really good job pushing out. You look at bottom, there's just so many creeps, and like you said, no easy way to deal with it. The Aphotic Shield, you can double cast that, and the trees just keep walking though.
Top tower is under attack.
Screw you, buddy. Not until you get like a Maelstrom or something. These guys are just going to ignore you and keep moving. Top lane. Looks to try to get another catch here. Van is really being a pain in the arse right now for Freedom. Just goes right behind all the waves and just continues to dish out the trees. And he's got almost enough money to just buy out the Octarine Core here. We'll see if he goes right for it or not. Meanwhile, Smash
I think so.
makes a go for Sunbee. Gonna do some mild damage right here, but obviously he has the borrowed time to fall back on, and no assistance here for Smash yet, but he will run it away from any trouble. But look at that, a jump catch, Omni Slash, and he will get the finishing jump right there with the help of his Blink Dagger. Now for Ewo. Ewo hides in the trees, looking to find somewhere to get out, jukes himself all the way through. Mike's going to be there to spot him. Can he get the quick hit? Quick slow the enchant. They got the drums, and now come the javelins. Boom, boom, boom. One more. Got it. Mike's going to pick up that one. He's on a killing spree now, and they're going to quickly
Mike
take this
failed in my
momentum
eyes
into the
there.
pit.
He should have gone for the blink back for the swag play where you get super impetus damage. That would have been sick, but no. Has to spend 60 extra mana, inefficiency, all over the place. But they'll go ahead and take Roshan, no problem at all. There's some pressure on the top lane, but it's not enough to get any trade for this Rosh.
They'll do what they can, suspecting that obviously Freedom have already made their way into the pit to grab up this Aegis here. So they'll get that in order, step back, get these lanes pushed out once more if possible, and then is this going to be the Aegis that they need to make that commitment towards the side of E.Wolves Blaze and try to end out this game? What if they're not able to end this game within this Aegis? Is that going to be a lot of trouble for Freedom? Like, could that be the beginning of the, the E.Wolves comeback?
It depends if they keep on
Dire's
failing to
top tower
itemize
is
properly
under
against
attack.
Nature's Prophet. If they can't end the game with this Aegis and they still aren't building Mjolnirs and Battle Furies and etc., then yeah, we're going to have some serious issues for Freedom because they're not going to be able to leave the base as the Nature's Prophet just takes control of the map. It's a really, really important thing that they start itemizing properly. If they do, they can go as late as they want. But right now, they are completely controlled by the Nature's Call, and I do believe Van's going to finish the Octarine Core, but we'll see. Still banking as much money as
Radiant's
physically
bottom
possible.
tower is under attack.
Look at this, though. These freaking trees, man. They walk past and they greet, hey, creeps. They greet the creeps to the lane and just block them on back and just keep all the waves pushed so far and forward. Top lane, Smash again could be dancing around with Mike. Gets off the slight and, oh, look at that. I mean, Mike's pretty damn low. The second Smash is able to finish off his first crit, let's say, he might not be walking away with his life. This
Well,
is
he's going to have an Axe. Oh, wait, no, he's going Hex. Okay, this is actually really good for Mike. Like, I was wondering why he didn't consider just disassembling the Dragonlance, buying the Axe and buying the Dragonlance again. It's because he wants Blink Hex. That's really good against Ember Spirit. That's going to enable them to break down the defenses of E.Wolves. They're only going to be able to use Echo Slam to defend. They can't use the Cleave Sleight of Fist. But speaking of Echo Slam, going to look to make a move here right on the tower. The arrow does not connect.
Mike forced away from trouble. Smash persistent, wants to get a hold of fun, but the cask holds him under the tower and in place. Moonlight Shadow going to be there. He's not done yet. Mike, though, sees Smash, and oh no! Here it comes! Here it comes! He TP's away. Oh man, that would have been hilarious. Unfortunately, not going to be happening. But bottom lane, look at it. Actual as Freedom push in, Van is way behind them, keeping the lane pushed out. Jubei's going to be there. Is he keeping a watchful eye for the TP? It looks like he's looking for it. There as he goes for it. Boop. It's going to cancel it. Van's now stuck here. Back at the base, though. Elite Wolves have made their move. And they're going to make a jump here. Francis is going to spin away from trouble. And Mike is actually going to be getting the kill, it looks like, onto Marana. Bottom lane, though, swap back onto Sunday. Borrowed time already committed here. And it looks like he should be going down. Smash will pick up that one. Now looks for Francis here. Nice visual lockdown. He's trying to get the Omni off. And gets it off between the three. Between two, Creep at least, and Smash and Evo. Now trying to spin away from trouble. He gets out. Whoa! Quick reaction with the Blink Dagger. Makes it up north. And he is hustling the hell out of there. And it looks like he's made it to freedom. Uh-oh, or not.
It looks like
or
it,
not.
but
Oh!
probably has a really short teleport cooldown. That's a 15-second cooldown, so if there's a way to head him off, he will. And, well, just blinking right top him, the right clicks will do it. Ugh.
Spoke too soon for him, man. He could not get away, and Elite Wolves get the catch. Didn't catch the back end where Masoko ended up going down, but Mike gets the catch on that one, though.
Yeah. Oh, I'm pretty sure he just auto-attacked him. That's what he maybe he even veiled the Hex. No, he didn't have the Hex at the time, so he just hit him.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh. No, not going to get close enough before the TP out from Nature's Prophet. But now he sees that Mike has the sheep stick. He sees the blink. And probably sees that he needs to be a bit careful now with these side lane adventures that Van has been going on. And maybe Freedom could even consider like a Tinker Ward. Oh, Jube's up there, but he doesn't have a ward in hand. But look at this, in lane.
The prize is mine.
Elite Wolves get the stun off onto Freedom. Freedom looking to move on forward here. Mike blinking in, but not going to be able to get the catch. Now spots out Smash. Smash eating lots of damage here. Remnant away. Coconut will follow, and there's going to be the ward. They're going to get the kill. Smash is going to be out for a minute. No buyback, but space possibly created. Van making it go at the bottom, and boom! He gets bashed up. He's not going anywhere. Self-sprout, and now the other TP. He makes it away. Okay. Woo!
Yeah, I mean, you can see why they're going for the Bashers, just to try to put as much hate on these mobile heroes as possible to crush the... Oh, Echo Slam up top. He's actually committing fully for Fun, who didn't have the Voodoo Restoration on, so doesn't have a chance
Jesus
to
Christ.
survive.
This game's all over the place. Mid lane, Somebody's making it go for Evo, where Evo will be able to make it out by TP. There's action all across the map right now, but yeah, good catch top lane. Fun goes down. It's an Echo committed for it, though. But even with cooldowns on their side, Smash being dead, it's going to be such a hard time for Freedom to make it their way past the river here with all this pressure. And have they been able to...
They have a really good way of dealing with the heroes now, that they've got the Basher on the Jug and are going to have the Basher on the Abaddon. I'm assuming those will turn into Abyssals, because, you know, you've got to blink on the Juggernaut, blink Abyssals. Same thing as blink Hex. It's really strong. But they have great ways to kill heroes, but they still are struggling killing creeps. And I feel like that's something that at least one of the two should have addressed before focusing just so much on this Basher play.
Let's see if they finally draw back to that, because otherwise it's going to continue to be a bit of a tough time here, especially now that Van could make his way towards something like the Refresher. And already see Freedom get these creeps out. I can't believe it's the second time today we've been seeing the Nature's Prophet pull out this kind of a play. A lot of people quick to jump and feel like it's a cheap tactic here, but it's definitely a valuable strat that has kept Elite Wolves certainly in the running. I mean, from where it felt like at the start of this game, where Freedom just had full control pretty much on all lanes. They took down Smash 3 times in the mid lane. Mike got grossly farmed super fast. The Abaddon was on top of the CS, and now we're looking at a game where they're able to stall out and Smash's Ember Spirit. The damage is going to be coming in now. He's got the crit, but man, he's getting bashed up. Sunbeam, get the hell away from me. He's got to run it away by the solo Abaddon. He's getting damaged together, but when he tries to go into a one-on-one man fight with someone like that, it's trouble. He has to get back to the possibly sleight of fist plays. I don't know. Maybe he needs to even consider a blink dagger
Van's
in the
in
future.
real trouble. Even with the Fisher, this might be enough damage if they just shuriken him, but they're not so sure. One more. We'll do it, and that's going to be that. But yeah, I mean, the Curse of Avernus is such a strong passive, honestly. Like, we're going to see big damage on Smash. He will, however, get the jump away. No lucky bashes there.
Makes it to safety. And we'll go right back into the grind of farm, but Francis is not looking to allow them to get away and go right back into their jungle to farm. He's looking to get the catch onto somebody. He sees a remnant, and you got to remember, you can't see where your remnants are. I mean, you can't. The remnants don't give any vision anymore, so I don't know if he's waiting for an Omni Slash or something, but he's going to keep tabs on this.
Wait, did he not throw another remnant out? Oh, this could be bad. He did not throw a remnant on bottom lane. He's going to be looking to maybe bounce. But we'll see for right now on bottom where Sunbeam is actually. Never mind. That's a pretty clear cut. engagement there. So early borrow time. He's not miscoiling for some reason, and now he's going to be sitting at half HP, and they'll just pretty much finish him off from here.
Making the move. There's the magic missile. Van shows up in time for a little bit of extra XP. Sunby going to be going down. This is also as Freedom responding to the pressure at the bottom lane, and now we could see E.Wolves start charging across the river and pushing their advantage on forward. And what are Freedom going to be doing to kind of relieve the pressure here? Look at that. Ouch. Jube eats a huge hit from the Wrath of Nature, it looks like, and loses a huge chunk of his life. Going to be forced back. He's pretty weak at this part of the game at only 900 life. So he does need to be a bit careful. He's holding a energy booster right now.
Yeah, so he'll go for the Ether Lens just for the extended track and shuriken range. It actually significantly increases the shuriken toss range, so that's helpful.
Middle tower is under
Very
attack.
nice. E.Wolves now come knocking. Last tier 2 tower in the mid lane going to be dropped, and now Freedom could be the team to try to pull out some sort of high ground defense. And I gotta say, it seems a little lackluster from their part. Maybe with a big Death Ward setup here, we'll see what they can do. But Smash is looking to move on in. There's the first slight, mild damage, and Smash is going to step back and away. But look at every lane, Blaze. Bottom lane now, they're chipping away at the tier 3. Top lane trees are rolling in. The top tier 3 is already down. Creeps are even running past that lane and going all the way through. But on the back side, they are going to get the catch. They take down Francis, the Jug. Going to be taken out for a full minute. And they might move on in and try to force out the buyback now.
I don't know, dude. I don't know how long you have to hit creeps before you think about buying a item that does AoE damage, but we'll see a Hex come out on Masoku. Almost kills him out. The Shuriken will not do it. It's left away, and it's actually going to be Valley Hunter that gets healed up.
They get smashed, though. Nice little Death Ward. He gets dropped. He's out. He could potentially buy back, but he needs 10 seconds before TP would be there. Meanwhile, Mike going to get the check. Takes down Masoku here, but they're still on pursuit. They want to get a hold of Ewo. A little Vengeful Spirit, though. Haste Rune. It's going to be blessed by the frog, but oh, look at this. Mike still gets the catch with a sheep, and it looks like they're not going to pursue. But with the Moonlight Shadow and that Haste Rune, they're coming back in. They're going to get the swap. They're looking to go for Mike. There's a force, and he's going to make it away. But every time I'm like looking at all this action, I have to keep touching back on the Freedom base and see that they're obviously doing a bit of a pruning job. Trees keep ending up just sprouting themselves into action, and now the bottom lane of racks are even exposed.
Yeah, it's just going to keep chipping away until they find a solution. Right now, I mean, the solution would be items like BOT Battle Fury, would be, in a way, Maelstrom, but Sunby would actually have to play a little bit differently. He'd have to reposition himself in terms of the map in general. But actually, Van should get caught out here. Yep, there's not going to be any hope for him. And inside the Sprout with a Juggernaut, that's going to be a very nice kill. So you can see Freedom have no problem killing. Like they can fight 4v5 and do extremely well. But with range racks taking damage.
Luckily, there is some backdoor protection that will help prevent a lot of the damage here. But the thing is like, yeah, they'll get a quick pick, but how are they going to make something out of it right now? They can't even get themselves across the river. It's always, let's get a kill, and now we got to get back to base and fix what the hell was actually busted up and broken here. Or try to prevent anything else from being absolutely taken apart and dismantled. And that is an E.Wolves kind of a game right now, so I don't know. What's the best case scenario for Freedom? Maybe not best case, but what's the likely case here? It looks like maybe they can make a move and try to get a hold of a Roche here, but E.Wolves are not going to hand one over easy.
Yeah, I mean, if the Ember Spirit contest, though, I think they'll just look to go ahead and hex up the Ember Spirit and try to go for the bashes and the Ember Spirit, kill them off quickly before the swap comes out. And that's actually quite feasible. Right now, they also have mid pushed out, so there's no easy way for E.Wolves to multitask. Actually going to try to go in for the Aegis snatch, and he just leaps into the Lion's Den.
Damn. Just as fast as he goes in, he goes down, and the Aegis is going to be picked up. Mike grabs that one, and they will hustle on back. Van goes right back into work here, trying to get these lanes pushed in and get some tower work done. And he's got nearly 7k gold saved up now. Probably obviously saving it up for a buyback / refresher to have on the side. But from one lane to back to the next lane, he's not looking to let up a bit. Jube will try his best to scout out where this Nature's Prophet is going to be hiding out on the backside. But look at this, a dive for Sunby here. Rotations are coming in, and quickly 4
you can actually
on
permanently
hand.
Sprout him. You can just sprout him forever if you want it, Van. It doesn't really care. He's hitting creeps. Sunby blinks,
Okay, well, they're letting him go. They will catch him with a fissure here. They'll get the swap back now. They're committing a lot more than they really needed to, but finally they'll get him. Well, E.Wolves need to be careful, man. They can't just be letting opportunities like that go, but a little bit of space for these trees to continue to go to work at the top lane, I guess.
Wait, did they net last hit him? Did they last him with the Nature's Call? I don't see any greater tree yet. I don't know if they look different or anything, but seems like they're all the little wimpy ones.
Yeah, Ember Spirit picks up the last hit, taking down that bad kill, but now they're already just getting back in. The pressure's there.
Oh, there was a greater tree ant. I found it. Okay, so he had the debuff on him when he died. This guy, 1600 health, 96 damage. Carrying the range direct siege. He's a general. Smash.
Dyer's
That's
top
close.
barracks
That
are under
probably
attack.
should have been a kill, but no bash. No shuriken toss, no nothing, but yeah. So, I don't know. In top lane, range direct is falling. Like, what is this?
This is Van
Dyer's top barracks.
pulling out his inner bulldog and just kind of going to work right now. They don't have much to stop him. They have no serious catch, no hex or disabled to prevent the Natures from kind of doing as he pleases. Or for
Well, they
the
have a
Ember
lot of
Spirit.
catch, but they're just distracted by all the other trees that are pushing in. Like, it's just they have catch. They just don't have the ability to multitask because it requires 3 heroes to hit a creep wave just to stop it from hitting their barracks. Like all they've built is catch. They've got a Blink Basher on Abaddon. They've got a Blink Abyssal on Jar. It doesn't mean a damn thing if they can't leave their base.
Okay. Should rephrase it more. Yeah, no opportunities to use the tools to be able to get a catch. It's now fully confined inside their own base to prepare, and without your precious Battle Fury or Maelstrom or AoE, it's hard to kind of get it done now. A bit of catch and play as they make the move for Smash, but Smash has been continuing to charge on in, wants to get off the slight, and will be able to make it back to his remnant. He's tracked up, but there's no one nearby to kind of get the
Dyer's
finishing
bottom
blow onto
barracks
him.
are under attack.
Back to the grind of keeping these waves out. Freedom will try their best. They can get picks, they can get kills, but okay, here's another one potentially as they get the Abyssal Strike onto Evo here, plus an Omni Slash. That's going to be the Venge down now, who does have buyback and is out for a minute, but what are Freedom going to be able to do to leave their base and kind of, you know, move forward? I mean, look at this. Even Mirana was able to move in and get a clean on the top racks here.
And the ward too. Like the gem is probably not going to walk there. Everybody just kind of cuts corners, so it's very likely that ward just sticks around and gives them the intel they need for all their sieging purposes.
This has got to be a pretty frustrating game now for Freedom after that huge laning phase and that strong start, just to be slowly suffocated now from the Nature's Prophet. We'll have to see if they're going to be able to find a way to be able to get out from their base and move to the other side. And for Elite Wolves, you know, props to them to be able to get themselves in this position. It's been plenty of stall and time, and now this Ember Spirit, he's got a Daedalus, he's got his Battle Fury, Boats of Travel, nearly 3.5k. He's a big problem now. Again, Freedom on the move, though. They smoked out from the base. Now they're going to be able to cross paths. They make the jump Abyssal catch for M-God now, a.k.a. Mystico, going to be swept up, and there he will go down. Now Mike looking for the next target. It looks like it will be on Masoku. He goes down next. A good two-man drop. Back at top lane. Somebody looking to make his move for Smash. Smash happy to go toe-to-toe with him here, but we'll decide to chain him up and hit him with a couple of slights on the way back here. Forcing him, drawing him away from the base here towards Van. Van's push is also coming in on the bottom lane here, so forcing Freedom away from their defense, but being able to still stay relatively slippery. And now Freedom have to get back on the grind of defending again here, Blaze. Oh, they found Van, though, and they're going to get the kill. Track gold and Death Ward committed. Obviously, he still has a crap ton of gold, so he has a buyback at the ready, but now mid lane, this is quite the juggle.
Yeah, I mean, at least they don't have any more trees to deal with, right? The damn trees, they've been fighting them for years and years, this Dire side. It just feels like suddenly Freedom are the creeps that are caught in combat with the Radiant and the Dire. Like, they feel like they are the ones just marching out to battle to melee auto-attack the enemy creep waves. Like, it's just, they're just stuck in a loop. It really, like, finally they get the Furion, and what can they do in this 40-second period? Really little. I mean, they'll get a little bit more map vision, maybe get some wards out, but Sunby is once again exposed, and I don't think the Bounty Hunter is going to be able to save him, though. BOT from the Enchantress will attempt it, and Smash can't get the kill in the catapult in time. Nice Orchid, nice lockdown, the Fitcher's there, and Echo.
Nice setup! They get the nice fissure, they get the follow-up echo, and Smash makes it out, and they now take down 3 all day with the lead and kill onto Jug. Now they're going to be looking to make a go onto Sunby. Oh, just as fast as he's forced away from trouble, he is swapped right back into the mess. Now he just plops down the cheese. He continues to just fight on and make it away with his life here. And as he makes a hasty retreat, I'll take that DD rune, thank you very much. We'll shield up and make it away from trouble. Now, all the meanwhile, the Witch Doctor, I think he got a brilliant setup with the other two with a good coconut and gets his own kill, committing in the Death Ward.
No, actually, the Death Ward was on cooldown for that whole thing, so it was fortunate that he was able to just get the Malediction damage, and that was enough to finish him off, but really, it's just, he would have loved to have Death Ward there, because that would have done so much, probably gotten him a double, maybe a triple. But now he's got it. Now he's going to use it to hold the high ground as best he can.
Oh, straight up Necro 3 now even coming out here for
Dire's middle
Van.
tower is under attack.
His push continues to be a big problem. Now they have even more to work with here. Ooh, quick jump back from Smash. And they're back to their game plan now. Just keeping pressure on all fronts here for Freedom. Bottom lane now down to 1 Rax. A full new set of trees have just emerged. And quickly, Freedom are going to have to deal with it here. It's a disgusting minigame that they're going to be forced to play. They're going to have to do their best to fend off the trouble, and it's not even enough. This Rack's already down to half of its life.
I don't know, dude. It feels like these guys have a Winter's Battle Pass quest to not buy Battle Fury this game, to not buy anything that'll help. I don't. Radiance would be a good item pickup. Like hell, I don't know. This is actually quite frustrating. But we're going to see the jump down bottom, and Smash will be bashed, but that's not going to be enough to enable the kill. So once again, they force them out. They've got BOT level 2 on the Enchantress, but I just, they're still in their base.
And with that,
I honestly, like, this is a weird question to ask on a professional broadcast, but do you think they realize the drawback of going for all these items that aren't Battle Fury or not Maelstrom? I mean, it seems like so obvious to even like people watching a Twitch chat. What do you think is the reason that they're so forceful in everything but?
I don't know. It feels like they were baking a lot that they would be able to catch a very greedy Smash play or Van play and be able to easily punish it with the tools they were able to throw. All the catch they were able to get with the Blink and the Sheep. And you know, you got to give credit, I guess, to E.Wolves. They did play it, you know, a bit more cautiously to not make sure that they were caught out, or if they caught out, they had a buyback ready to go, or a lane already pushed. And I don't know. I feel like, yeah, the common sense would be to have at least some sort of backup plan. If maybe they want to offer all the lockdown on someone like Mike, at least have the Abaddon pick up the Maelstrom some way to have a creep clear there. But I don't know, they're the ones who have the one true answer for that, and we'll have to see. Maybe at the end of the day, they'll be able to use all this to be able to get the game-winning pick off and turnaround. But as it is right now, that's not going to be coming easy. They get a swap catch for Sunby. He's going to be forced to pop the borrowed time to avoid the stun. And we'll make it back into the safety zone of his base. But Elite Wolves have not ventured too far away from the front door of Freedom.
Alright, well, we're good now. Francis has got his Battle Fury. He might have to jump back to base real quick, because we're going to see E.Wolves actually go for a jump here, considering it. Don't really have to follow through from the Ember Spirit, the most important thing, so they're just going to kind of poke and prod. But yeah, I feel like now it's just about getting that pick off. They have a lot of means to do it. The Blink Hex, the Blink Orchid even, the Blink Abyssal. So we'll look for them to finally make that quick jump and get a little bit more map control. Like right now, this Observer Ward's going to give them trouble because they don't have the gem anymore. Masoku picked that up most recently. So right now, wards are probably going to become the big issue. And actually, Roche is going to be going, it looks like, to E.Wolves.
E.Wolves in the pit
And if they
here.
try, this is perfect. I love this play from Nation Prophet. If they go for the Roche, they lose their racks, and they don't want to do that.
Necro Book and trees, and those racks are going to be going down
He's
while
going
Freedom make a move, and he goes bottom. They made a long jump for an Earthshaker, and he's going to get the last laugh if they're going to be losing a lot of their base here. Now they will get the catch on Nature's Prophet, but these racks are almost set to go down. Glyph is going to be forced out. All the meanwhile, Elite Wolves do get the Roche. They get the Aegis here, and they are tasting victory. They are going to be creeping in through here. While that's happening, Smash is going to be going in through the top lane. This is hair pulling right now for Freedom. Now they move in. Smash does get caught. There's a good catch from Mike with the Sheep, but not enough of damage. He is hit with a curse, but Mike's pursuing. Remnant back. He keeps going to work. That's going to cost him the Aegis here. And I think they're just going to take the one life and have to get back into the base.
that is the top lane of Rax and the bottom lane of Rax gone. Brilliant play there from the Nature's Prophet. He was actually able to use the Refresher and Necro. Like, because the Necros die when you refresh it, you usually don't ever see that, but he didn't need him up top. He gets him down bottom. We'll see an arrow on Mike, and they'll try to kill off the Enchantress as quick as they can. Nice nukes coming out against him, and that will be enough.
Mike goes down. He's out 90 seconds, no buyback there. With the little bit of time created from Ahsoka with the arrow, the Venge was able to eat the cheese, and she is back in action now. Gets a stun there onto Sunby, who's trying to TP away. Not going to be happening. Jump in, a dunk just for you, sir. And it is going to be Elite Wolves getting the best of that. 2 go down. 1 has buyback, 1 does not. And as if the hold wasn't hard enough before, this could be the final hurrah here for Elite Wolves to close out game number 1. A game where they were way back in behind up to like the, 25-minute mark, and then slowly the Nature's Prophet came into its prime. And ever since then, Freedom have been playing with their backs against the wall and stuck inside their base. And here comes Elite Wolves now. One last set of racks in this mid lane.
Yeah, multi-lane pressure, but heavy push from bottom from the Nature Prophet creeps. Up top, it's going to be the Nature Prophet himself, and then obviously they were right there in mid. So it is going to be them continuing to do the same thing as they have been, but right now, it is going to be finally the Witch Doctor picking up their second gem of the game, so they might be able to get some important D wards out. There's 2 really good at Radiant wards. If they find either of them, it's going to help them get outside the base and find a quick little pick.
Let's see if they'll find him here. Already venturing out through the mid lane, Jubei and Sunby. Looking to scout out what's there. It's Jubei who does have the gem, but for every time he steps out, he has to double back and get back into the grind. Here's these trees. You need the jug on hand. They get the swap back. Smash, stuck inside the base now. Big death ward damage, but he just remnants out from trouble. And now all the trees just go right into town now. And there's not even a hero committed inside the base, except Masoku. He jumps in, blinks right back out. Throwing his body on in there, but all for the greater good of Elite Wolves right now. Big Rax damage, no finish yet.
That was quite a cheeky play, but right now Freedom, they don't feel comfortable following through. Like, they had the blink on Abad, and they might have been able to follow. Oh, they're going to go on the Venge, and it's going to be Mineski to go for the spin. He will just disengage for now, but Smash coming out the flank. Big cleave coming out, but
ouch.
No crits till the end.
Lots of damage on the Jubei, but thankfully for him, no crit. They turn it back for Smash, and Smash goes down. So he's out 90 seconds. But he's going to buy back right away and look to go for the finishing blow here, and it looks like they might be able to get it. Jubei's going to get dropped. That means the gem hits the deck. They're looking for the follow-up, which is going to be the grab on the Francis, so now he's forced to buy back. Only 1 Rax left, and it's going to be the Mega Creeps now. Here comes Elite Wolves moving on forward. That's the second death of Mineski Fangay, and that will be the game it looks like. Mike does get a triple kill here, holding his own, but the damage has been done here, it looks like, from Elite Wolves. E.Wolves going to work, is going to be able to get the finish. And while Mike is trying to be
the damage from Mike though.
An
ultra kill might get a rampage here. He will get a rampage.
Go, get in there. He can't see him. Oh, he's not gonna get it. Van, heartbreaker, not gonna allow Mike to get the rampage even in a game that seems like he's not gonna be able to get the win. At least he would have had at least something for himself, but.
Oh my gosh, that was 5,300 damage for Mike as he comes back and just does so much damage, impetus after impetus. I mean, he's got no attack speed items too, so it's like not like a mood shard or mask of madness or anything. Like, he's just raw right-clicking it for as long as he can. But end of the day, now they're up against Mega Creeps. Now they're being pushed not just by the Nature's Call Treants, they are not just by the Wrath of Nature Treants. They are actually up against Mega Creeps themselves, and if they were unable to leave their base before, now they'll never see the light of day.
Dire's middle tower has
Desperate
fallen.
though, Mike is making his move for Van. Van blocks it back with the Sprout, and there it is, the R button, which means all pressure going to be coming in now from the side of Elite Wolves. It was their best hope, and
Dire's
they're
middle
looking to
tower
battle it
is
out
under
even against
attack.
Megas. Intense game number 1. I know it's not double elimination, and you want to be holding on to make it into the semis here, but Freedom are hoping that they will at least maintain something for themselves here, or maybe already thinking about what could be happening for game number 2. There's a Mjolnir grab for Mike. That will help a bit, but might be too little too late at this point, Blaze.
Yeah, I feel right now Freedom are just playing the fatigue game. They've got their monsters and their Red Bulls, and they're ready to go. They're saying E.Wolves will fall asleep first. Let's make this game go 2 hours, and hell, I'm excited for it. Van going for some trees. No surprise there. They're just gonna
do a little bit of tiny chip damage, but not much at all.
Let's see if they get some wards up or something just to even scout out all the trees inside the base so it doesn't happen again. Even Masoku creeping in with his Moonlight Shadow will drop a very deep ward here. They're just making sure that they're scouting everything that's happening inside the Freedom base on both sides as they're just confined to the center lane. Never say die. They really don't want to be turning this one over here. Elite Wolves, they had committed a couple of buybacks in that last fight, so Van still has his, but okay, Mike gets caught out front. Veil, Dunk, Dagon. They are going to get the kill. Here comes Francis from behind, but the Ghost Scepter's going to be there from Mystico, so he's going to be good. But now as he goes up the high ground, nice little quick catch with the stun, and he'll make it away to safety. He's got to get back to the base, though. Look at all the trees. Look at all the creeps. They're beginning to go to work here. Freedom's final 4th tower here. Barely kept alive. Now Smash steps in, and he's happy to get the finish here. As he moves on in, the others getting juggled up here from Mystico, stuns him up with a fissure, and it looks like their throne now going to be exposed. Smash goes to work onto it. Francis tries his best, dishes out the Omni Slash, forces Mystico away, but it is going to be finally game here, Blaze. A long one at that, nearly an hour, but eventually it will be Elite Wolves who get the win here. Van and his Nature's Prophet.
Absolutely. Well, I mean, it's insane because we talked so much about how Sunbeam had drafted these impenetrable lanes, how it was so difficult for the Mirana to come online because she couldn't find kills and she was maxing her arrow. For them to be able to create space for the Ember Spirit because he was under pressure from minute 1, and they just, overall, there were too many tanky heroes, too many great team fight possibilities for Freedom, but they kept on all-inning on this fight and this kill and this mentality of just, okay, we pick off the Ember, we go high ground, because if you can't battle very clear it out, all we have to do is just space out from the Earthshaker and we're good. And that can work, but they didn't factor in the Agadam's Nature's Prophet. The fact that he was able to constantly keep the creep pressure rolling, constantly keep things pushing in. Van able to not just last hit 613 creeps, last hit all the racks as they just kept the pressure rolling. It was full on siege mode from Elite Wolves, and they just kind of just built up Smash over time to the point that he could get that crit. He could get the damage they needed, and even the Veil Dagon was built perfectly to counteract the Enchantress's survivability mechanism. So just across the board, Elite Wolves, they played a slow game, but they played an effective one, and Freedom not being able to push out of their base, not itemizing as they needed to at the time that they needed to, dug them into a deeper and deeper hole that E.Wolves now take game 1.
And we'll be getting ready to hop into game number 2. With 1 game away, Freedom could be knocked out of BTS Americas 3. We'll see if that's going to be the case or if we're going to be going into another 3-game stretch best of 3. We'll cut to a break and we'll come back and find out. This is KotLGuy, that's Blaze. We'll see you soon for more BTS Americas action.